is alive on Saturday night for the Monsters of Destruction, and these MOD machines are ready to live up to the moniker with a concrete floor full of old autos waiting for sacrifice. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside the Veterans Memorial Coliseum on the Alliant Energy Center complex in Madison, Wisconsin, where we kick off the 2024 season of the Monsters of Destruction, and we're kicking it off on concrete with raw crush cars. But you can see there are some K-rails butted up against these old pieces of iron that will either serve to send these trucks airborne or send them for a lot of vertical hits. As we get right into the action with qualifying staged up right now, you see Rod Schmidt out of Charles City, Iowa in the big black Chevrolet Redneck Rampage, the Patrick chassis machine. He will be first to set the pace as he locks it in on the line. First hit, first corner, not bad, a little oversteer. You can see he's definitely getting some vertical air, an unenviable position to be first out. As he hooks right there, has to bring it back down, and that's going to cost him some time. Dumped a little fluid out there as well when he made that corner. Crossing the finish line at a 30.04 with a 5. Rod Schmidt with a little trouble on the run. Andy Miller going to go reset the tough blocks. So we'll get another look at that one. Watch him when he cuts in this corner. He hooks a little bit. They did treat the floor with some Coke syrup a bit earlier, and the ride truck was down on this side of the track as well. The pit party was over on the other side. So there's actually a little bit of a layer of rubber down here, and that's probably what he hooked in right there. You can see that could have been worse. Believe it or not, concrete can jump up and bite you. As slick as this stuff is, when you find a sticky spot, it'll take you over in a hurry. Now, Brad Shippert, a guy who has been here, the last 4 or 5 years or so, really making a showing every year with the Monsters of Destruction in Against the Grain, another older style PEI chassis. This actually used to be Doughnut's Big Dog, and Brad picked it up a few years ago and has really been making inroads in this sport out of Dixon, Illinois, going after that 30.04 second run of Schmidt. Little bit sideways off the first jump. The rest of the course, though, is going to be the telltale. Not taking it easy, but it looks like he's trying to get a feel for the concrete. He'll wrap things up at a 23.15 with an 8. Brad Shippert picking up the pace here. A nice clean run. I think we're going to get quicker, though, as the night goes on. You can see that first hit, though, a lot of hang time. That can jump up and hurt you at the end of the night. You want to keep the truck lower to the cars and keep applying forward momentum to get you to the finish line quicker, especially when you have another truck racing you on the other side. As you can see, Chicago-style racing here tonight. Travis Groth now out of Laramie, Wyoming in Maximus. This is a Groth Brothers chassis, but this team has been representing the DCT Power Sports crew throughout this first quarter, coming in here with the Maximus identity for the team out of Lafayette, Indiana. Nice first leg. He kept it kind of low there. It was a good forward launch over the cars. And again, not too bad, but they're really tearing up that blue lane. Good leap across the finish line, and he will jump into the number 1 spot at an 18.219 second run with Maximus. As he heads back to the pits. Up next, will be the other half of this team. Tyler Groth in the veteran, also out of Laramie, Wyoming. There you see Andy Miller running the floor down there tonight. Here comes Tyler again out of Laramie, Wyoming in the veteran. This has been the other half of this team that's kind of joined up with the DCT Power Sports crew for first quarter here, but now running by themselves here in Madison, Wisconsin. So carrying one of their own and one identity for Jerry Beck. They would love to pick up a win here tonight in racing and freestyle. We got a couple other competitions we'll be bringing you as the night goes on. So Tyler Groth now tries to knock down that 18.21 second run of his brother Travis in Maximus. A lot of hang time off the first jump. See if he can make it up on the back half of the course. Well, oversteering right there is definitely going to cost him. Staggered front and rear steering when he crossed the finish line, but a 20.14 with a 9 will take him into the number 2 spot. And again, that blue lane really is getting torn up already. I have a feeling this orange lane is the side you're going to make up your time on. The cars are staying a bit more together, and they're not tossing these guys left and right when they come off. You can really maybe make up some time if you have your final turn coming off the orange lane going into the blue lane rather than the other way around. But that remains to be seen when we get into racing action. Now, a guy who has laid down a few wins here in Madison, Wisconsin, but he has had some rough rides as well. R.J. Turner out of Knoxville, Maryland, and that bright white War Wizard running those big, wide Michelin Megas on that thing. We'll see what he does. Spools front and rear. It may affect him in the turns. See him get a little wide out there. Let's see how he handles the blue lane again, coming off to the inside. Nice final turn. He's just feeling it out. A lot of on and off the throttle there, but I don't know that he wasn't just trying to get a feel for what this track had to deliver as he ran a 21.730 second run to put him into third place, right above Against the Grain and Redneck Rampage, and that will set the bracket when we come back for more action. Racing starts next when we come back to Madison, Wisconsin. Don't go anywhere.
This presentation is brought to you by Monsters Monthly, your place for photos, videos, event info, and all the happenings in the monster truck industry. Visit monstersmonthly.com. And by Crush This. For a weekly look inside the wide world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, a monster truck podcast. Available on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. This program is brought to you by RPM Army. For a wide array of content from across the motorsports world, visit rpmarmy.com. Your high-performance fix on the go.
Back inside the Veterans Memorial Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. This legendary building has hosted its fair share of monster truck action over the years. Some battles in the Thunder Nationals series, many others. The Monster Nationals of the late, great George Eisenhart Jr. also staged in this building. And now the Monsters of Destruction continuing the tradition. Our first round matchup between a pair of, one of them originally a PEI, now with some refabbing on the cradle, that being the War Wizard, that cradle redone by the Metal Shop many years ago, and he's staged across from, as I mentioned before, this is Doughnut's old Big Dog truck, now being campaigned by Brad Shippert as Against the Grain, and it is super fast. It is built for racing. Let's see if he can knock down RJ Turner. A little edge for Turner off the line, but he's gone way wide in the turn. Shippert again getting that odd bounce off the blue lane, but he's about to lap Turner, and he'll come across. It's all against the grain as Turner continues to have problems in the turns. Well, he had a nice wheelie there coming over the finish line, so we know he's going to stand out in freestyle. He always does. I'll tell you what, though, one of these days, RJ Turner is going to get it in his head that he needs to win a race. If somebody would just put up some money, I guarantee you that guy would cross the finish line first, as the crew picks up a couple of spare parts there, and the action continues here in Madison, Wisconsin. Redneck Rampage and the Veteran about to do battle here. Another old Patrick chassis coming to the line, the former equalizer of Mike Hawkins. That is now Redneck Rampage, being campaigned by a legend of monster trucks, former Gravedigger driver Rod Schmidt. Guy's been around for a while, one of the heavy hitters of the mid-90s independent circuit, now battling with Tyler Groth in the red, white, and blue Ford Raptor, the Veteran. Little edge to Schmidt into the first turn. He's got the lead coming out. Groth gonna have to make up the difference. Very quick through the final turn, but a little problem. Who won that one? We are waiting on word for who picked up that victory. It looked like the Veteran had it there at the end, but the staggered front and rear kind of bit him. We'll get another look at it here in a second. Watch the way he comes off of the orange stack here. He takes the outside line, he kind of crosses it, gets up on two wheels. He will pick up the win as his brother comes to the line to stage in Maximus. A bye run into the semifinals. He will do battle with the fast loser out of this round. Just getting a feel for the track right now. He just has to make a legal run. And he's handling it nicely. Running some very wide housings on this truck. And believe it or not, that may be helping him on this track because the thing's staying very planted on this concrete that can get very tricky in a hurry. So he'll move on to take on fast loser Redneck Rampage. You see it right there. He will pick up that fast loser position. So he'll be back. And the Veteran will take on Against the Grain. So we could feasibly get a rematch in the finals of the first round matchup you just saw between the Veteran and Redneck Rampage, as they are now on opposite sides of that semifinal ladder. Andy Miller, the man on foot down there in the black hoodie. There you see him getting the trucks restaged for a different sort of competition. The two-wheel skills about to get underway. Redneck Rampage will start that off. You see the right lane light on inside the cab of that awesome machine, as I mentioned, formerly the equalizer of Mike Hawkins. Truck definitely has its fair share of scars to bear, as it should do pretty well in this competition. We should see some classic sky wheelies here with the raw cars on concrete. Let's see what Schmidt can do. Oh yeah, can still stand up with the best of them as he kisses the wheelie bar off the orange lane. Schmidt starting things off strong here in two-wheel skills. He'll come back around and Head for a second hit. Let's see, is he going to pick on that lane again? He liked that hit. I can guarantee you that felt good in the seat there. Didn't come down real hard on the rear end. Just, you know, a little bit of tires, a little bit of wheelie bar, and just right off the set of cars as he comes up and bumps it back into place. Not quite the same on the second hit, and he may have knocked the side of that car down a little too much to get another hit off of it. But you can see right there, straight up and down, and just looking at the ceiling here inside the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in this concrete palace of horsepower, hosting the Monsters of Destruction once again. And they have become a fan favorite in this area. Up next, Dixon, Illinois' Brad Shippert against the grain. And he just gave up a move right there. I know what he wanted to do. Those K-rails have been offering some interesting hits, and I think he thought when he went into it and then stabbed the throttle, it was going to carry him up and over, but it didn't sound like the power was there, and it just sort of coasted on over. I don't think he's going to want to do that on the other side, even though the hit is definitely there. He could get some big air, but he's shooting for something else. Look at this. He's headed down center track to the vans. Carrying it right up and over the van stack. Brad Shippert in against the grain, making up for that lost move at the beginning of the run. So our first two competitors in this competition are 1 for 2 in this two-hit contest. With 1 to go behind them, it will be Travis Groth in Maximus. Right now, the crowd prefers Brad Shippert in against the grain. Carrying the front end nice and high on that first hit. Coming around to the orange lane. We'll see what he's got for hit number 2. Comes up and bangs into the cars just to tighten him up. Don't have to use a forklift, nothing. Just come up and kiss him with the truck and it'll reset the stack. Solid pair of sky wheelies for Groth. Now the question is, did the crowd prefer the single move of Brad Shippert over the van stack or the 2 sky wheelies? We're about to find out. Those are a good pair of sky wheelies there. Not quite as vertical as Redneck Rampage, but there you see it. Brad Shippert winning over the crowd by going over the center stack. He will pick up the 2-wheel skills victory. More action coming at you when we come back to Madison, Wisconsin. The semis are next. Back at the Alliant Energy Center in downtown Madison, Wisconsin, getting ready for semifinal round. Monster truck racing with the Monsters of Destruction here in night 1 in Madison, Wisconsin. On the floor of the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, we stage the first of the pairings here in the semifinals. There you see Tyler Groth in the veteran, going to take on Brad Shippert in against the grain. Shippert in a semifinal round race now, and he has never been able to pick up the elusive victory here in Madison, Wisconsin. He'd love to do it tonight. He is on track to get to that championship round, but he's got to go through Tyler Groth first. There you see the left lane light go out right there. RAI test is successful. The far end of the building where Shippert is, that is the left lane. And the side where we are, our camera location, where Groth is staged, that's considered the right lane here tonight in competition. You just see the red lane light on in the veteran. So veteran and against the grain, the first matchup of the semis. Who's it gonna be? Little edge to the veteran and a problem over the first jump for Shipper. Groff trying to hang on in there. Shipper trying to make up the distance. He made up a little bit of it, but not quite enough as the blue lane bit the big green Ford from Illinois. Brad Shipper going back to the pits. He'll wait on his shot at maybe winning the freestyle competition. He did come out of here, though, tonight. He can say he came out of here with a victory because he won two-wheel skills. But right here, this final launch over the cars, you can see the margin of victory at the end was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. Shipper making up a little bit of ground after his early launch over the blue lane put him in kind of an awkward nose-up position, and that blue lane, again, is just killing these guys tonight. When they're coming down, the one side of that set of cars is completely decimated, and it's kicking them off left and right now as Travis Groth and Maximus stages across the track from the cagey legend of monster trucks, Rod Schmidt. As I mentioned before, former Gravedigger driver in Redneck Rampage. The guy's got time in the arenas, in the stadiums. He's raced all across the country, and now inside this building, staged across from Travis Groth. The early lead goes to Redneck Rampage. Groth trying to make up the distance. And problems for Redneck Rampage coming off the blue lane, and now the steering doesn't come back for him. Looked like a little bit of a problem there coming to the final jump. That looked like it was all Rod Schmidt's race to win, and something went away on him in the last leg. I'm not sure what, but they're going to get back to the pits when we come back. Championship round racing coming at you from Madison.
Hey, welcome to Wild Man Adventures. First the Silver Lake Sand Dragway. There really wasn't any off-roading back then. It was all off-road. We're on our way to Lima, Ohio. Got wooden wheels.
Oh, it's slippery as all get out of.
Hey, we're here with Rich Cummins. Hey, we're here with Mike Potter. Hey, we're here with Alan Pizzo. Gotta check it out. This week we're going to go down memory lane.
Back inside the Alliant Energy Center complex's Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Madison, Wisconsin. Brad Shipper staged down in the tunnel right now as we get ready for championship round racing. But first, before we send the veteran and Maximus to the line, got another little bit different competition here. One more shot at victory. Doughnut's, time for some Cyclones. Laying down some rubber on the far end of the building, Tyler Groth. Smoking the place up down there. Watch it again. This actually may serve to help these guys in that corner because that's the slick side of the track right now, although that's been the better turn to have at the end of racing now as War Wizard rolls out to try to better Groth. Let's see. Got a good revolution going. Unfortunately, the vehicle started to drift toward the wall there. You can see Lee Collins liked it, but Turner not wanting to get himself up against the FMX ramp that's staged over there on the far side of the wall. As you see him drifting that way, I think he had a little more room than maybe he thought he did, but he was going in that direction, so he wisely led out of it. The veteran going to pick up the Doughnut competition victory. So, we have crowned 2 champions here tonight. Veteran has one of those, the Doughuts. He just won that. Brad Shippert won 2-wheel skills, and now we're getting ready to crown another, the racing champion. It will go to the Groth family. Will it be Tyler in the Veteran or Travis in Maximus? Again, carrying that name for Jerry Beck's DCT Power Sports team out of Lafayette, Indiana, carrying it on their own chassis. They're the Groth brothers as they stage nose to nose here in the championship round. Who's it gonna be? They get the thumbs up and wait on green. The early edge to Maximus. Veteran trying to make up a little distance now. Maximus continues to hold the edge. Problems for the Veteran. They were close on the end, but it looked like Travis and Maximus. It was close at the end. We're going to get one more look at it from overhead. Watch this run again. This turn right here that's been troublesome for everybody is actually where Travis Groth kind of got his lead out on him coming off the blue lane, and then you see the big problem there for the Veteran. Cost him just enough time to cost him a win. Maximus, your racing champion, and there you see it biting and letting go, actually running over the tough block. Your racing champion tonight in Madison is Maximus. So we have 3 champions in 3 competitions. Will anybody repeat as we get into freestyle competition? Here comes out of the tunnel. You see the lane light on. Brad Shippert emerging onto the floor of the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Against the Grain, starting off freestyle. Carrying some nice momentum right now. And you can see him hook up a little bit down here on this side of the track, closest to the bottom of your screen as he heads up the middle. Now he's mashing down the band in the center of that stack, push the center of the roof down. Cuts a nice donut to wrap things up. Brad Shippert starting off strong, short and sweet and Against the Grain. Carrying the colors for RC Fest out of Tuscola, Illinois. And Brad proudly carrying those colors for a very good cause. Got to go check those guys out at rcfest.net. Get behind the cause of donating blood and much, much more. Again, out in Tuscola, Illinois, that's rcfest.net. Check those guys out online now. Rod Schmidt, Redneck Rampage. Out of Iowa, trying to better Brad Shippert's run. And you can see right here, the rear steering does not seem to be cooperating with him right now. This guy is a true legend of the sport, though, so he'll definitely counter whatever it throws at him. But I don't know if the rear steering, the self-centering may be working, but it's awful slow right now. He heads up for the center stack. Again, working the track nicely considering the truck is ailing just a bit, but I'm sure they'll get that worked on tonight. It's going to cost him here in this freestyle competition as he works to get the truck lined up. Oh my, that whole stack moved underneath him when he went on it. You see him get it up on the rear tires, and then as he was walking the truck, the stack started to walk away from him. So Rod Schmidt and Redneck Rampage not getting quite the run I think he wanted. They're going to be working on that truck tonight on into tomorrow morning because he's definitely, I think he might have a little bit of an electrical problem, or maybe, remember he dumped some fluid out when he saved the truck in qualifying. I'm wondering if that was steering fluid. Maybe he's got something leaking under there, but it seems like it's a little bit slow right now as you see that move. It's where the stack started walking away from him. Now as RJ Turner rolls out in War Wizard, trying to claim the #1 spot in Freestyle. And he starts off with some nice air. Keeping the momentum up right here, though. This could hurt him as he has to back up. Wheeling over the cars right there. There's not much left of that blue stack. Turner unleashing the power of that 557 cubic inch Oldsmobile power plant built by Kevin Stauffer out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Another nice launch off the orange stack. What's he got left? Back up center, hang on. Wasn't happy with the lineup. Doesn't want to trash the truck just yet. Wrapping it up with a nice set of Cyclones, RJ Turner, who swears he's just trying to get through the weekend, taking over here in Freestyle. Right now, he will be in the lead as our final pairing will get ready to come out, or our final set of trucks, I should say, will get ready to come out one at a time. The Groth brothers. Now Tyler in the veteran going after RJ Turner. See what he can do. Nice hang time to start it off. Look at pre-steer into that turn. He just whips the truck right around. Big leap over the center stack, didn't even touch the van. No quit in this machine, and another massive run up the middle. He'll wrap it up there with some big air climbing out to the cheers of the crowd here at the Alliant Energy Center. I would say hit for hit, that was the best run so far. The crowd decides, but from their cheers, it does sound like Tyler Groth is now leading the charge. And again, had that pre-steer on a bunch of those landings, and it just bounces the truck right around the corner and into the next obstacle. He got to everything quickly. He kept the truck moving, and he indeed takes over the #1 spot right in front of this guy, Travis Groth and Maximus. Not much left to pick on out there as the stacks are pretty well destroyed. hammer in that blue lane. I think that stack is trying to walk its way down to the tunnel right now. Down up there in the corner, having to back up, and it looks like he's going to wind this run down maybe with one more hit. Nice shot over the race lanes, and he's going to bring it to a stop there. I don't know if that's going to take over. That was a good run. Earlier in the competition, that would have been a takeover run, but I think with what Tyler Groth did right in front of him, that's going to be hard to take over. It was a good run, solid effort. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of there, turning the crowd on and finishing in fine fashion, but it's not going to be enough. The winner in freestyle will be the veteran. So the veteran with 2 in freestyle, and Doughnut Maximus claims the racing championship, and Brad Shippert picks up a win in 2-wheel. We're not done with Events Inc. and the Monsters of Destruction here in Madison. We will see you tomorrow for more with MOD.
This Back Channel Productions presentation has been brought to you by Gemini Associates. Whether you live upstairs, downstairs, or anywhere in general, we are here to serve.
Nicholas?